Morning, everyone. As you can see from behind us, there was a partial building infrastructure collapse due to what seems in preliminary investigations. There was some type of explosion. This happened at 8:10 this morning. We received reports of an incident involving the chimney to the boiler room here at NYCHA's Mitchell houses. This resulted in a partial building collapse. We are extremely fortunate. At this time, we have no loss of life or no injuries. Residents of the F and G lines in the building were evacuated, and other tenants can reoccupy the building at this time once we ensure the safety of the structure. First responders quickly arrived on the scene, and an investigation is currently underway to determine the cause of the incident. We're still investigating to make that determination. All of this is unfolding situation at this time, and we want to make sure that people stay away from the area to keep them safe. We have traffic and pedestrian restrictions throughout the area. Gas to the entire complex is shut off right now, and inspections of the building are ongoing. And it's crucial that we ensure that the area is safe, so we're really calling for residents not to go anywhere near the area. I want to thank NYCHA, FDNY, NYPD, NYSEM, DOB, and Deputy Mayor of Public Safety, and Con Edison for their swift response. And as the mayor, it's my obligation to ensure that the tenants and the residents in this area are safe. I want to turn it over now to Commissioner Tucker. Then we will hear from NYSEM Commissioner Jack Iskel, and finally the Borough President of the Bronx. Commissioner?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you. Good morning. It's Robert Tucker, the New York City Fire Commissioner. As the mayor said this morning, just after 8 a.m., the fire department was notified of an explosion. We responded in less than 4 minutes, and when our units got here, they alerted us to a major collapse of a structure attached to this building behind us. As you can see, numerous FDNY and EMS units responded to the scene. Luckily, as the mayor said, no one was injured. We ran our dogs over this pile of bricks that is behind us, which is the structure that collapsed. It is a ventilation shaft connected to the boiler, which collapsed. We believe that's where the explosion occurred, but that's going to be for our fire marshals and the NYPD and all of our investigative partners to investigate and explore. I just want to acknowledge the partnership among all the first responders. While we might have been here first, the fact is that nothing in public safety happens alone. And it's just a really amazing response. And thanks to our elected officials as well for getting out here as quickly as they did. All in all, a great response, and thank God no one was hurt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. How are you? Thank you all so much for being here today. Really appreciate all the incredible response by the FDNY and some of our partners. Right now, we're kicking into the next phase of this operation, which is recovery. So this is a fairly large campus. We're working with our partners at NYCHA, DOB, Con Ed, our public safety agencies, and others, as well as our some of our community partners here on restoring services and taking care of the residents. So number one, the safety of the residents is of paramount importance, and that's the number one concern. We have building inspectors that are inspecting the foundation of the building and inspecting all of the apartments in the affected areas to make sure that the building is structurally sound for people that live in those wings. We've also opened up a reception center with NYCHA and with the Red Cross right here around the corner at the Mitchell Community Center at 210 Alexander Avenue. Any impacted residents, we encourage them to go there. They can register with the Red Cross. And if we need to do a vacate at some point in time, that's also where we'll run the operations for people getting additional housing. Anybody with any issues can call 311, or they can call the NYCHA number at 718-707-7771. What we're now doing is working with Con Ed, NYCHA, DOB, and some of these other partners. Some demolition is going to take place today to remove the remnants of that chimney, to get into the basement, and then to restore services, heat, hot water, and cooking gas to the campus. So really appreciate all the incredible work that has been done and all the work that will be done going forward. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Bronx Borough President Vanessa L. Gibson, and I'm so thankful that we came here to the scene so quickly this morning. Incredible efforts by all of our first responders. I want to thank our mayor, Eric Adams, and all of our commissioners, Commissioner Robert Tucker. Thank you to Commissioner Zach Eiskell and to all of our agencies. Thank you to Deputy Mayor Cass Daughtry. Everyone came this morning here to Mitchell Houses, and as it has been said, we are thankful that there were no fatalities and no injuries, as we have learned that this happened in the boiler room. But most importantly for all of us, elected officials and community leaders here, we want to ensure that the structural integrity of this building here at Mitchell is maintained. There is a lot of concern, a lot of anxiety from the residents that live here at Mitchell about what happens in the long term. And so over the next several hours, as inspectors are in the building, we will do everything possible to make sure that we minimize the disruption and the anxiety of the residents and the families here in this working class community. I am so grateful for the FDNY, NYPD, sanitation, DEP, all of our elected officials, community board leaders. I'm thankful for NYCHA. This is something that has happened before, right here in the Bronx, in the West Bronx, almost 2 years ago. And so this is something that I've experienced before as borough president, and the mayor as well. We were on scene there. And we know there are a lot of questions, and we will make sure we answer every question. When this happened earlier this morning, many people had already left for their day, going to work in other places. Children were in school. And so over the next several hours at the evacuation center, we will make sure that residents are provided with food and other necessities as we ensure that the inspections are done in an efficient manner to make sure that both short-term and long-term goals are met when it comes to the safety of the building and the residents here at Mitchell. So once again, Mr. Mayor, thank you so much, and thank you everyone for being here, all of our agencies. This is an all-hands-on-deck moment, and we avoided a major disaster here. Although there is a lot of cleanup, I'm so grateful that no one lost their life. No one is in the hospital, and that is important to be acknowledged. We will learn through this investigation what happened, and we will make sure that measures are put in place to support all the residents and families here at Mitchell. So thank you so much to everyone for being here. It's so important that you recognize that we are all working together and collaboratively. I want to acknowledge and bring up our New York City Council Deputy Speaker, who represents this district, Diana Ayala.
And I'm bringing with me Assemblymember Amanda Septimo, who also represents this area. I wanted to say a few words in Spanish. You've heard, all of the details in English, pero quería decir que estamos hoy aquí en Mitchell Houses. Obviamente esta mañana tuvimos una explosión en el departamento del boiler que subió al área de la chimenea, y eso resultó en que la estructura se cayera parcialmente. Estamos tratando de identificar la causa exacta. Todavía tenemos los ingenieros y todo el personal que se encarga de eso están aquí, pero quería dejarles saber que a los inquilinos y las personas que están llamando, que están preocupadas, que gracias a Dios no hubo fatalidad, todo el mundo está bien, las personas que trabajan aquí, gracias a Dios, pudieron salirse del medio a tiempo, y ahora la prioridad es asegurar que la estructura de los apartamentos que estaban lo más cercanos a la línea F y G estén estructuralmente bien y que las personas puedan volver. En el caso de que no puedan volver, NYCHA ha identificado cuartos en hoteles en el área para poder relocar a esas personas y les van a dar obviamente unos vouchers para que tengan para comer y para lo que necesiten. Y estamos también trabajando con los inquilinos si necesitan medicina y tienen que entrar al edificio para que alguien entre con ellos. A los que tienen mascotas, pues estamos también haciendo la diligencia para asegurar de que se las puedan llevar con ellos. Pero como dijo la portavoz, la presidenta del condado, tuvimos mucha suerte en este caso de que nadie salió herido de esto. Esto se puede arreglar, pero no tuvimos ninguna pérdida de vida, que fue un milagro en actualidad. No va a haber gas. Obviamente el boiler que se dañó, obviamente que explotó, es el boiler que prohíbe la calefacción y el agua caliente para todo el complejo. So, NYCHA va a traer unidades portables por ahora, temporariamente, y le seguiremos dando más información mientras venga, pero por ahora, gracias a Dios, está todo el mundo seguro. Estamos dando información, la Cruz Roja está aquí cogiendo los datos de las personas en el caso de que se tengan que relocar. Did you want to say something, Amanda?
I'll be brief. I'm going to be brief, pero voy a comenzar en español. Nosotros sabemos hoy que fue un accidente grandísimo aquí en el Bronx. Se evitó una tragedia, pero nosotros tenemos que ver cuál fue la causa, porque nosotros solamente vemos problemas como este en lugares como lo de nosotros. Áreas como el Bronx, que no tienen recursos. Nosotros le mandamos recursos a NYCHA para asegurar que nuestros edificios pueden estar seguros, pero estamos aquí en esta emergencia. Nosotros tenemos que averiguar qué fue lo que pasó y por qué siempre pasa en lugares como el Bronx. Yo soy Amanda Séptimo, asambleísta aquí en el Distrito 84. Most of what needs to be said has already been said. My name is Amanda Septimo. I represent this area. We have to get to the bottom of what happened. We were lucky that this emergency didn't result in a loss of life, that it didn't turn into a tragedy. But we can't be relying on luck to keep our communities safe. We send resources down from the state to make sure that boilers get fixed, to make sure that elevators get replaced. We have to get a clear accounting of what happened and who is responsible, because we cannot leave our tenants to hope that everything is happening the way that it's supposed to. And today is evidence of the fact that it absolutely is not. So I'm thankful to FDNY, to all of the first responders who are here, making sure that we can get this building to a place where people can feel comfortable living in it. But what I look forward to most is tenants getting back inside there, us making sure that they actually feel safe, and getting to the bottom of what happened here today. Thank you.
I want to hear from NYCHA.
Thank you, everyone. I'm Eva Trimble, the Chief Operating Officer at NYCHA. I just want to reiterate the thanks to this interagency initiative this morning has been truly tremendous. The support we're getting from all the parties, NYPD, Con Ed, and of course FDNY, who is first on the scene. We are working closely with them on the investigation, but most importantly, we are working closely with our residents. We have significant amount of staff here on site right now, working with our residents, going door to door, making sure they have the services they need, and we'll continue to do that all morning and throughout this situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Up to the top. Who are you calling? That's part of the investigation to determine if there was a gas leak here.
The federal government shut down today. Is that going to have any impact on the repair efforts in this building? I think specifically of FEMA, HUD, or any other federal dollars that's needed?
No, the repairs are going to take place no matter what, and we're doing an analysis of the impact of the shutdown on the federal level. But that has something to do with making sure that this shoring up the building where the explosion took place and doing the repairs. Well, it's not lost on me that October 1st is the first day that heating is turned on, and I think that all of us should use this as a reminder that your boilers have been sitting idle throughout the entire summer. And so when you flip those switches, and in fact, I have to do the same on my small building to make sure you see if there's a smell of gas. Just take an extra step of precaution. The hundreds of NYCHA housing throughout the city. Today, this switch is going to be flipped to turn on their boilers, and we're going to make sure as safety as possible. No one woke up this morning and said we wanted an explosion here at this building. Our thousands of NYCHA's employees are dedicated and committed public servants. Anytime anyone that knows that when gas is involved, you want to be take as much precaution as possible. And when things like this happen, you investigate to determine how do we alleviate, if not eradicate it from happening in the future. You want to speak about that, NYCHA? Did you hear the question?
Yes, I did hear the question. Thank you. So to be clear, NYCHA tests all of our boilers throughout the summer ahead of heat season. We do a summer overhaul that actually starts in the early spring to make sure the equipment is ready for the heat season. So we have to wait for the investigation to see exactly what happened here in order to figure out how we prevent this from happening again.
Yes.
How long do you expect it'll take before you know whether or not it's safe for the residents of this building? Are we talking about now, hours, a day? And then the other question is, was there work going on recently with that boiler?
Was there, I'm sorry, the second part?
Recent work going on with that boiler.
So let's find out the recent work. And is Jimmy here? Commissioner Adams? Are you doing the structure aspect of how long it takes to get back in the building?
Yeah, well, I mean, we're going to regroup as a team later in the afternoon, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock hour, after we've had some assessments. Our DOB team is in a complementary role. We have our emergency response team. We have our forensic engineering unit to partner with our friends at NYCHA to walk the buildings. We'll have a better assessment about all of it in the early afternoon. In terms of the question of work being done, my understanding is that work was being done on the boiler. I don't know if our friends at Fire or Con Ed want to speak to that. A permit was pulled and work was being done on it actively.
I have a follow-up. My understanding is that there was a partial stop work on this building that you mentioned in June. Did it have anything to do with what happened?
We have our team back at 280 going through the records on all of these buildings, and there are some open violations. But we don't know at this time if they have anything to do with this incident. We come here often for sidewalk sheds or elevators. There are 3 open violations on boilers, but those were for non-safety related defects, and I just urge caution that we don't jump to any conclusions that they are related. We don't know if they are or they aren't. We certainly we'll certainly let everyone know as soon as our team has done its full assessment.
Wait, hold on. She's going to point to who we asked the question. We're not going to call out.
Actually, I guess just ahead of that question, how many people exactly evacuated? Can we return some of them tonight, or do they all need a place to stay?
NYCHA?
So the investigation is still going on. We have DOB inspectors as well as structural engineers going door to door, going through every single apartment. Right now, this morning, FDNY evacuated the F and the G lines, but those are the only people right now that are evacuated from the building. So we're going door to door to ensure the structural integrity of those units, as well as inspecting the basements and roof and other parts of the structure to ensure there's nothing wrong with the building. Until we know the results of that investigation, we really can't say what's going to happen next.